Good morning. Welcome to the Kehillah Torah Halacha Review for Friday, December 25th. Today is the fast day of the 10th of Teves, Asara B'Teves. We'll speak about the fast time in connection to candlelighting in just a minute. Let's take a look at Halachically Speaking's chapter on making a siyum, which is very nogeya, very relevant for our congregation. We have had a women's class on Monday afternoons called Essential Talmud. We started some years ago, actually, reading through Rabbi Steinsaltz's book of that name, The Essential Talmud. Gives us a whole background into the idea of oral Torah and why it's so central to the Judaism that we live day to day, week to week, year to year. And then, after getting our foundation in that, we dove into the first tractate of the Babylonian Talmud, Tractate Brachot, Maseches Brachas. So this past week, we completed our study. We learned the entire tractate, and we did make a small online siyum. But as we'll see in some of these pages here, a siyum is certainly something worthy of a community celebration, and it's our full intention to fulfill that mitzvah of making a siyum in its fullest when we're able to gather in person and share some good food and l'chaim, of course. The mitzvah, it says in Yerushalmi, in the Jerusalem Talmud in Pnei Yeshua, Rabbi Yeshua Falk from Poland, one of the early achronim there, that when a person starts a masechta, it's a mitzvah to finish that particular masechta. And the Stipler Gaon, Rabbi Kanievsky, gives two reasons for this. First, he says, if you start a masechta and you don't finish it, there's the possibility of maybe you made a promise that you're not keeping your word. Second of all, it wouldn't be nice. It's embarrassing to the tractate if you didn't finish it. You wanted to start it, so you want to finish it. Upon completing a masechta, we make a seuda, we make a meal, according to Tractate Shabbat, which is the one we're going to start this week. Next week on Monday. According to Tractate Shabbat, on page 118b, and brought in a number of other places, we make a Suda to show thanks to Hashem, thanks to God for giving us the opportunity to finish the tractate and all that implies. Let's see. The simcha. When you finish a masechta, there's a mitzvah to be joyous over the occasion. Okay, I'll tell you, we did our best. We were joyous. We clapped. We sang. We danced in our chairs before our Zoom cameras. We did the best we can, but there's more to come. The simcha is so great that some say you should say simcha b'ma'ono at the zimun of the siyum. That's the invocation, the invitation to bench for Birkat Hamazon that is customarily recited at a wedding. That's the kind of greatness they're comparing it to. The custom, it appears, is not to do that, but there's an opinion that maybe you should. Yam Shel Shlomo, Reb Shlomo Kluger, I believe, says that there's no greater simcha or mitzvah than is done before Hashem than the simcha and mitzvah of finishing a considerable, significant portion of Torah. The poskim say that there's such great simcha at a siyum, even those who did not finish the masechta should partake in the siyum. I can tell you stories for quite a while about my teacher, friend, mentor, Rabbi Besser, Rabbi Yecheskel Besser, Alav Shalom, who was the international chair of Daf HaYomi, and I had a number of conversations related to the siyum of the Daf HaYomi with him. I said there was one cycle some years ago where I had started Tractate Brachas and I had finished the last tractate, but I didn't do too much in between. So I said, Rabbi Besser, should I come to the siyum? He says, when your brother makes a wedding, does it make sense? Would you even consider not coming? It's a simcha for the whole family. It's a simcha for the whole Jewish people. So that was his view on it also. Unfortunately, he hasn't been here for the last two siyumim, but his influence surely is still felt. And I know that this last siyum that was just some months ago, in January, they did include Rabbi Besser, Zichron Livracha, in the video. So tribute and memory was paid at the time. Let's talk for just a minute about today, what's happening today. So the fast, which began at sunup, before sunup, is going to conclude at 5:35. That's the end of the fast time, is 5:35 this evening. Nightfall, in other words, the same time for Motzei Shabbos, more or less, give or take a minute, give a minute. This afternoon, candlelighting time is 4:28. Were we to join in the sanctuary for Mincha and Kabbalat Shabbat, it would be at 4:35 or so. So we'd finish about 5:30 or thereabout. So the fast ends at 5:35. We should not make Kiddush before 5:35, or because that's the end of the fast. That's the end of the fast time. Okay, tomorrow evening, Saturday night, Motzei Shabbos, the Shabbos concludes at 5:36, so everyone's invited to join us for Havdalah via Zoom at 5:46, just about 10 minutes after the end of Shabbat. Everyone's welcome to join us for that. You should have the link to that in your email, which went out yesterday. So please join us for that. Have a wonderful, relaxing, enjoyable, restful, restorative Shabbos. Make the most of every minute, and we'll see each other after. Shabbat Shalom.